then this, which implies n divides Km, and the justification is in exercise 36. It says that if you have an element G in a group whose order is say n, and G to the power m becomes identity where m is a positive integer, then n divides m. Okay, n is not just less than or equal to m, but n divides m. So that's what we have used here. Okay, so n divides Km, and what do we get from that? Since n and m are relatively prime, we have assumed this one, no, this is the special case. Since n and m are relatively prime, so from this divisibility relation we can conclude that n divides k, n has to divide k. N divides k. Similarly, m divides k, because the calculation we have carried out here starting from m could also have been carried out starting from n. That would give us a divisibility like this: m divides nk, from where we will conclude that m divides k. Again, since m and n are relatively prime, we have mn divides k. So mn is less than or equal to k. Because k is a positive integer, mn is a positive integer, it divides k means it has to be less than or equal to k. So mn is the smallest positive integer for which the corresponding power is equal to the identity. So mn is the order of AB. Thus order of AB is equal to mn, which in this case is equal to the LCM of m and n. Now we handle the general case. And this much we have done not just for the sake of understanding the situation better, but we are actually going to use this paragraph, what we have proved in this paragraph. It will be used in the general case. If the least common multiple is 1, say it's some positive integer, it can be 1 also, then E belonging to G has order 1. We after all have to find an element of order which is the least common multiple of m and n naught. So if it is 1, then the identity element is the only element of order 1, so that can be taken. So we assume that the least common multiple is actually a positive integer greater than 1. Now from the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, we know that it will have its own prime factorization. Let this equal to p1 to the power k1, p2 to the power k2, pr to the power kr be the prime factorization of this LCM, where P1, P2, these are distinct primes and K1, K2, etc. these are positive integers. Okay. Now what can we possibly do after this? What have we done actually by the previous paragraphs? Okay, now let me write here. There we won't have enough space. This one is fairly complicated, and the next one is even more complicated, the next exercise. Now for each integer I lying between 1 and r, define an element ai. Okay, ai is defined to be this: a to the power m times pi to the power minus ki if pi to the power ki divides m, and b to the power n times pi to the power minus ki if pi to the power ki does not divide m but it divides n. What have we done here? You see, we already have the elements a and b, right? A has order m, b has order n. Now the least common multiple of m and n has this prime factorization. Okay. Now if you look at the prime factorization, p1 to the power k1 has appeared here in this factorization. So p1 to the power k1 should either divide m or it should divide m. Why is that so? It's because you see, if you recall in section 1.3, we had an exercise like this: p1 to the power alpha 1, p1 to the power alpha 1, p2 to the power alpha 2, pk to the power alpha k, suppose. But this is the prime factorization of A, and the alpha i's are not necessarily all positive, they are non-negative, and the prime factorization of B is, say, this. Now we have seen in the solution to this exercise, and in fact that was the exercise. In the exercise itself we had been asked to prove that the LCM of A and B is this, to the power delta 1 p2 to the power delta 2 pk to the power delta k, where delta I is the maximum of alpha I and beta I for all I lying between 1 and k. Now looking at, we don't have prime factorization of m and n available to us. We haven't done that. We have straight away considered the prime factorization of the LCM of m and n. So this k1, according to this exercise, is either the exponent of p1 in the prime factorization of m or the exponent of p1 in the prime factorization of n. If p1 does not appear in the prime factorization of either m or n, then of course it cannot appear in the LCM, because the LCM is the least common multiple. If p1 does not divide m and n, or in other words, if p1 neither divides m nor n, then we can very well remove this factor. Still this will be divisible by m and n. So that will be smaller than the bigger one. So minimality of LCM will be contradicted. So because it has appeared here and we have assumed that all the k's are positive integers, so p1 appears in the prime factorization of either m or n, or maybe in both. In any case, p1 is there, and so in the prime factorization of m there is a power of p1, and in the prime factorization of n also there is a power of p1. The bigger power will appear in the LCM. So I hope you can understand, p1 to the power k1 appears either in the prime factorization of m or in the prime factorization of n. That's why p1 to the power k1 either divides m, or in case it does not divide m, it has to divide n. Do you see that? If, say, in this particular case, or in this case, suppose alpha 1 is greater than beta 1. Forget I, let us take the first factors. Then what will be delta 1? Delta 1 is the maximum one, so this is equal to alpha 1. So this is the prime factorization of the LCM of A and B, like how this is the prime factorization of the LCM of m and n. Now here we have p to the power alpha 1, and this divides A because it appears here. This, however, does not divide B. Keep that in mind, because here we have more p1 than what we have here. Here the number of p1s is alpha 1, here the number of p1s is beta 1, and alpha 1 is greater than beta 1. So in any case, for all I, now you generalize also, what we have argued for one, it's same thing for all the indices. So either pi to the power ki divides m or pi to the power ki divides m. So if it divides m, we are defining this new element ai to be a to the power m times this. Now m times this, if you look at this carefully, this is nothing but m divided by pi to the power ki. So this thing is a positive integer, and so this is a positive integral power of a in our group. Similarly, in this case, this is a positive integral power of b. Okay, but we have to, of course, at least write a line. Note that the above elements ai makes sense, or rather this definition makes sense, because pi to the power ki divides m, or pi to the power ki divides n for every I lying between 1 and r. Now let C be the element that is the product of all these AIs. Okay, that is the product of all these AIs. For each I, okay, what do we get when we take the pi to the power kith power of ai? Say for each I, ai to the power pi to the power ki is equal to either it is a to the power m. Can I write it directly like this? Will it be clear? Or how should I writing all the conditions? Okay, let me write it more clearly. What we are now going to show is this: order of ai is pi to the power ki. That's what we want to show. Fix an index I arbitrarily where I lies between 1 and r. Let pi to the power ki divide m. Then ai to the power pi to the power ki is equal to, since this is true, so this will be equal to a to the power m and that is, if you apply the rule of exponent, these two things will cancel out and we will be left with a to the power m. This is equal to e. Okay. Now if we suppose that ai to the power l is equal to e for some positive integer l less than pi to the power ki, then a to the power m times pi to the power minus ki whole to the power l is equal to identity, because that's what ai is, no? This would imply a to the power m times pi to the power minus ki times l is equal to identity, and hence since m is the order of a and this integral power of a is equal to e, so m will divide the exponent again by that exercise 36. M divides m times pi to the power minus ki times l, or if you manipulate this divisibility relation, then you will get this strange conclusion that pi to the power ki divides l. Note carefully that here we have pi to the power minus ki, but this is not possible because L is less than pi to the power ki, so it cannot divide L. So our supposition is wrong, that is pi to the power ki is the smallest positive integer such that ai to the power pi to the power ki is equal to identity. But don't forget the condition that we have assumed this: if this. Similarly, you can show that if this and this are true, then also pi to the power ki is the smallest positive integer for which this is true. There, after this step, you will have to deal with b to the power n times pi to the power minus ki. That's all. Does not divide m, but it divides n, then is the smallest positive integer such that this is equal to identity. Or if you find this the way of writing somewhat confusing, you can do one more thing. You, instead of taking AI, you take this element itself. Okay, under the condition, of course, this condition should be there. Under that condition, this group element will have order pi to the power ki, and the proof is similar. You just don't consider AI. Get the same thing for this other element also when this condition is true, and then you conclude that that's why pi to the power ki is the smallest positive integer for which so and so happens. Hence, order of AI is equal to pi to the power ki. Okay. Now you look at the element C. This one has order p1 to the power k1, a2 has order p2 to the power k2, and you also recall what we did in the first paragraph. In the first paragraph, we showed that if two elements have orders m and n, and their least common multiple is the product, in other words, that their orders are relatively prime, then their product is an element whose order is the LCM of the orders. In other words, in this case, you look at the orders, p1 to the power k1 is relatively prime to p2 to the power k2, because p1 and p2 are distinct primes. So, order of a1 a2 will be equal to p1 to the power k1 times p2 to the power k2 from the first paragraph. Hence, from the first paragraph, we get order of C equal to order of A1, A2 up to A, no, we haven't taken N, AR. No? Yes, AR. And by the first paragraph, this is equal to order of A1 times order of A2. So what we did in the first paragraph, we are applying again and again. First to the elements, say A1 and this product, then in this product to the elements A2 and A3, A4 up to AR. Like that we went on, and a full application of that result in the first paragraph sufficient number of times gives us this. And these are orders we have already found. So this is p1 to the power k1, p2 to the power k2, pr to the power kr, and this is nothing but the LCM of m and n. So C is an element in the group whose order is the LCM of m and n. Thus, C is an element in G whose order is is the least common multiple of m and n. So here this solution ends.